another episode of Life Changers, and this is Mike. I'm your host. So today we're going to do story time. Story time, what? Just because, I don't know. I feel like I listen to a lot of the audio that we put up on all that. Just letting everybody know we're on podcasts now, if you want to listen to us on podcasts. And if you are, thank you. But anyways, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes some of the stories I kind of like rush through to make the point for what we're talking about that time. So I'm just going to do a few story times and explain to you how just listen to my higher self or to my gut or whatever you guys want to call it really changed my life and affected a lot, and how it's impossible. Some people say, oh, you're just lucky, Mike. You're lucky. No, man, that's not luck. It's literally, if you could tune in to your higher self and just live in the moment, right? As we talked about in other episodes, we live in the past. Our bodies live in the past. We got to live now, right? We got to live in the moment. So, here's a quick story. Story time. I'm going to say that over and over. But, in 2019 is when I had like in one of my stories how we rebranded my whole company and came up with a new concept. And it's not that I'm lucky and I just figured it out by myself. No, I really contributed to my higher self, because it was, like I explained in that episode, just shown to me, given to me, and explained to me. And I couldn't predict, right, what was going to happen in 2020. So I just followed my higher self, followed the law of attraction, just surrendered and just followed the flow of the universe. And I set everything up. And imagine if I didn't. Things would be a lot different. Like, if I did not listen and I procrastinated and I'm like, oh, whatever, right? Like I've done in the past, and not just surrender and follow the universe's guidance or my higher self, that things would be a lot different. That I literally just listened. And if you listen to that story or that episode, you'll know that, like, I call my wife and I'm all excited about it. And then she's just like, oh, but you got to understand. I make it sound so like, oh, yeah, look, I just started all these companies and I'm successful now. Woohoo. No, we've done a lot. I mean, a lot of work trying to find what works for us and for our, like, trying to create that one product or that one company or that one service and as you could probably tell, I get a lot of ideas. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this now. We're doing this. This didn't work out, right? Like, literally, I had something like I started buying before it became popular. I would buy a lot of Amazon returns, Walmart returns, or factory overstock, or stores overstock, and stuff like that, or stuff that's just not moving. And I'd buy pallets of it, truckloads, and I would get in the U.S. And I set up a store where it's like we go through everything, and we would see if it's good product, if it's broken, because sometimes returns, it's literally broken. See if it's brand new, never been opened, stuff like that. See if it's dented or scratched. And then I branded a store, and we opened it up, and we called it like the bargain bin. Oh, big deals bargain. And I trademarked it and trade named it, and we launched it. And then I didn't listen to my higher self. My higher self's like, hey, you have to hire the people. You can't do all the work yourself. You got to push this and work it this way. And I was like, oh, I know better. So that's like my first test of listening to the universe. And I was like, oh, no, I don't need to listen to you. Right? And then it literally pivoted within a year or so, a couple of years, into a candy store. Trust me, my kids love that. Unlimited candy. We had ice cream, like parlor ice cream in there, and candy like when I grew up, 1 cent candies, which are now 5 cents. And now with inflation in 2022, it's probably like 50 cents. But it's just like, I'm just trying to explain that it might sound, if you listen to all the podcasts in order or all our episodes in order, that oh, wow, it worked. We did a lot of work. You got to work at this. You can't just, okay, like I'm trying to give you a cheat sheet from my experiences of not listening to the universe or my higher self. And this is what happened is like, so I ended up closing all that stuff down, got into debt, didn't work. And then we came up with another idea. Before like online shopping was a thing, I tried to create an online shopping mall before like Amazon was a thing or anything like that. eBay was a thing then, but I wanted to create like online shopping, and we developed a website for it. And it was like, hey, you know, pretty much anything you want, we would shop for you. You don't have a mall where you live. You live in the middle of nowhere. Well, you log on, type in what you want to buy, and we'll go ahead and shop for you, charge you a fee, and like be like personal shoppers and ship it to you if you live in the middle of nowhere, right? If you live on an island in the Arctic, if you live in the Arctic, stuff like that. And that didn't work. And, you know, we tried all sorts of things. I put together catalogs. My wife really hates when I bring up the story of the catalogs. We spent a long time. I think it was even on our anniversary, we were finishing up these catalogs. And you know what ended up happening to all these catalogs that we worked so hard on printing, putting together, binding them, and all that stuff? I just threw them away. I was like, no, that's not going to work. So, like, yes, I had a lot of failures and a lot of trial and tribulations, right? But it was me not listening to the universe. And the universe has always been there trying to guide us. It's you too. The universe, your higher self, your gut, is always there trying to guide you and teach you. Sometimes we listen to it, sometimes we don't. Some people call it the little voice in my head, right? Going like, hey, I don't think we should do this. You're like, I'm in control, right? It's kind of like our body's in control of the mind. But we just have to understand that if we listen, we tune in, we'll be successful at anything we do. Whatever we want, whatever we're dreaming of can happen. So now, but bring it back to 2019, I couldn't predict 2020, so I set up the company the way I felt it should be done, right? And I probably talked about it in another episode, but I'm going to re-talk about it again. I know nothing about stock markets, but I'm like, hey, yeah, penny stocks, yeah, I'm going to get rich, woohoo, right? So I took some money and I invested in random penny stocks that I felt like I needed to look at a penny stock list, and then I picked out a few penny stocks that I felt kind of like were calling me. And then there's one in particular that was just like jumping out at me. And I looked at it. And I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm tuned in to all possibilities in the universe, I just know things and understand. And I'm looking at the stock like, oh, every 3 years, the stock seems to jump real high. It would go from $1 to $8, $10. I think the highest I've seen it was $15. And then I was like, oh, well, you know, there's going to be something big happening in 2020, so I need to invest with this stock. So I threw a little bit of money into it. You know, and I picked like 5 stocks, penny stocks, right? And I threw money at them just for fun. Like, oh, whatever. And you know, like I told you in other episodes, set your intentions and forget it, right? So I set it, and I didn't even look at the stock again until one day I'm like, maybe I should look at the stock. Like the universe is like, hey, knock, knock, look at the stocks. And at this point, it was March 2020, and I looked at the stocks, and this is when like a lot of them were crashing, but this one stock that jumped out earlier at me crashed all the way down to like 10 cents. I was like, buy it. So I bought some. I was like, and as like you make the purchase, right, it goes through the system. And then I kind of stopped it. And I was like, oh, no, I should buy. It's going to go even lower. And then the universe like, no, just buy the full amount. Right. At this point, I have like 70% of the order fulfilled. So I was like, okay, we'll stop it there. I think it's going to go lower. Oh, right. Greed enters, right? So what's going to happen? Well, it didn't go lower. So I could have made more money on that one, but I didn't. But in the end, and then I was just like, okay, forget it. So I forgot it. And I couldn't predict what was going to happen in 2020. But all I know is that my higher self and the universe, law of attraction, is looking out for me because it set me up with a recession-proof business that actually during a recession, it seems to be very busy. These stocks, especially that one in particular, hit over $5, which isn't as amazing as I thought it was going to be because I was predicting in my head, like, oh, it's going to be like $20. But it hit $5. Buying it at 5-10 cents. Now it's hitting $5. So that helped out. And then that helped me invest and just, as I talked in my other episodes, just slapping the company together just in a month, where I got the warehouses and I proved the concept and I'd set it all up, just as the universe was guiding me. The universe was like, when I was looking for warehouse space and pushing for it, couldn't find nothing. I was just like, oh, whatever, I surrender. Then it's like, oh, no, go over here. And I went over here. I'm like, oh, crap, here's warehouse space. This is really cheap, actually. So I took it. Landlord's amazing. Like, I'm not like the genie that knows everything that's going to happen, but I do see a pattern that when I start following, listening to the universe and just doing things as I feel like that small voice in my head is telling me to do, or that my gut feeling, that always good happens. It's not magic. It's not I'm lucky, right? Some people say like I got a horseshoe stuck in my butt because I'm so lucky. It's not that at all. It's finding the vibration of your higher self or the universe and just surrendering and going with the flow and living in the now. And I know when I'm fully living in the now and surrendering, Surrender Experiment, it's a good book. Michael A. Singer, you got to put it out there. It changed my life. But when I'm just there, okay, I'm just going to do what the universe is pushing me to do and just do it, only good things happen. And then things just take off like a rocket. It goes fast. But the moment I start trying to take control, like, oh, look what I did, I'm so awesome, and I start taking control and trying to control my universe, that's when it doesn't work. Everything is vibration. We're all connected, and we're all energy, and we all have a vibration to us. And money is a vibration, is an energy. Business, love, everything out there has its own vibration and energy to it. And once you learn how to tap into that, anything is possible. And just my mind is open in the sense that I have all these ideas and I just understand things. And I don't even, half the time I'm like, I don't even know where that comes from. I was like, looking at my wife, I'm like, hey, check this out. This is what I figured out today. And I'm like, blah, 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 right? And she's like, did you just make that up? Or she would say, did you pull that out of your ass? But then she Googles it and it's true. She's like, how did you know? I'm like, I just know. I'm not a genie or anything. It's just, I know when I tap into the universe and the infinite possibilities that I could just understand things that I need to understand. That helps me grow and progress to what I want to end up, and where the universe and my higher self is pushing me to go in the direction. So when I trust that direction, I'm not worried about anything. Hakuna Matata. Such a wonderful phrase. Means no worries for the rest of your days. That's my motto, and I say that a lot, but it really is. Stop stressing. Stop living in the past. Trust the universe. Trust yourself. Trust your higher self. And surrender. And then things will be easier. You're not pushing against the grain. You're going with the flow. Doors will open up. Your mind will open up. And you'll start understanding things. And then you'll be like, I figured it out. But then the door will open even wider. And there's a lot more to learn. I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you very much for listening. And this is Life Changers. My name is Mike.